Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and today we're doing a Digimon video. So yesterday, or for me at least, and 2 days ago for you, Carnix released a video talking about what would the Digimon Frontier kids if they had normal partners. And I watched this video, and I had my ideas of my own, but I didn't have them fully together until today. And I didn't want to necessarily just type in the comments. I wanted to make a video sort of explaining my thought process. Let's just say I had some other ideas going forward. I wanted to stick more in theme of the kind of the frontier spirits, try to invoke that nature of it, rather than just stick with, say, fire, light. I want water, electric. I wanted to kind of invoke them, invoke their spirits. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And we're going to begin with our good friend Takuyamon. And for the rookie, I kind of already had on balance. Shamanmon, he's a shaman. Demon. Flamemon is kind of like a little baby version of Hellboy. So that's when I thought about Shamanmon. And also, Agunimon's also a shaman as well. For the first pick evolutionary line I was thinking, I went with Flarerizamon, because he's a fire dragon. He's kind of hand-to-hand combat. So I kind of went with that. But then I was thinking the ultimate, and you kind of had to think a little bit of a gunner. Because, Burning Greymon and also Aldemon, they have guns. And I wanted to invoke that. So the first thought was Aldemon. But that wasn't necessarily my favorite, but I have a different evolutionary line for the true one. And then for the Mega, I wanted to go reminisce of Emperor Greymon, so I had Dorbicmon and then Demon Dragon. I think that works perfectly. The problem is there's not a good one for Kouji. There's not an exact, let's say, equivalent for him. So I had a different evolution line instead. For the champion, we go with Barrowmon. He's still a shaman. He doesn't look much like a physical fighter, I was thinking Flame Wizardmon, but I think he would work perfectly fine. Barrowmon is a fire shaman, and I could see Shamanmon becoming him, and I could also see for the rest evolutionary line. For the ultimate, a much better pick is of course Rise Greymon, the giant gun, the reminiscent Greymon, just perfect, and also invokes a little bit of Aldemon as well. And of course the Megas. If you're going Emperor Greymon, you go with Victory Greymon, the big giant sword, the Greymon, the armor. And if you're going with Ancient Greymon, although this is not my favorite, you go with Blitz Greymon. So that was what I was thinking for Takuya. I don't like Blitz Greymon a lot, but I really like Rise Greymon being the ultimate and Victory Greymon being the mega. Going forward, for Kouji. Now, Kouji, I wanted to have the bladed wolf aspect, though I'm not going to necessarily get that. You'll see why. So for my first pick, I chose Spotamon because Spotamon kind of reminds me of a Beastman similar to Strabimon. Not very wolfy-like. I probably would use Psychemon maybe, or Black Gabumon instead. But Norse Psychemon would be more chosen. But I also like the blue elements. That was another thing that I was trying to keep along with the blade. For the first choice, I chose Repamon. It has blue. It's a dog, like a little bit of dog. It's not necessarily a wolf. And it also has invoking of light. So that's what I was thinking for Repamon. The ultimate I had a little bit trouble with, and I decided to go with Shoutmon Cross 3 SD. He has the wolf arm. He's got a wolf back. He's got a spear that's kind of bladed. Could work. However, I do really like this. I think he belongs more in Omega. I had a different choice. I think doing Darulumon and then Jaeger Darulumon is a little bit better because they're connected to Garurumon. They're not bladed. They're bladed a little bit. They're more drill based, but I think that's going to have to work. I wish they were more blue. If there was a blue variant, I would totally dig it. For the Mega, of course, we have Zed Garurumon with his giant cannon, reminiscent of Magna Garurumon, although he really can't fly. I was trying to think of another beast-like Digimon that would work, but I couldn't find any. And of course, for the ancient version, we have Kuroskurumon. Moving on to Tommy. Now, Karn wanted to go full Frigimon line. And while I agree with the champion, I wanted to invoke more of the evolutionary line of the Frontier Spirits. But we're going to go in a bit of reverse. So instead of ending with a beast, we're going to start with a beast in terms of Tapirmon. He's a four-legged. I know he's a bit of a holy one, but it can work. You could see him being an offspring of ancient Mikathuriamon, especially his evolutionary line with Mammothmon, Skull Mammothmon. For a champion, of course, we go Frigimon. It's an ice bear. Now for the ultimate mega. Polar Bearmon and Scottymon are very feminine, and I don't think that suits Tommy very well. I mean, Scottymon has blue fingernail polish. I'm sorry. No. So for the ultimate, I wanted to remix with Daipenmon, although I thought this was a cyborg, not a Mesa machine. But Frozomon would work. He's got the blades like Korikakumon. He's an Iceman. And he's also a machine similar to Daipenmon being a cyborg. And of course, the rookie, of course, is Penguinmon, as we saw in Digimon New Century and the Digimon card game. So, of course, we're going with Frost Velgarmon for the Mega. It's Ice Base. I could see Tommy being a little bit of this, being a little bit of an immature Mega. So, yeah, I could see him working well. Moving on to Zoe. Zoe is fairy and birds, not necessarily insect. So for Zoe, I decided to do with bird. I decided to do with the Digimon that we haven't really seen before, not Hawkmon, as Carney suggested. I went with Muchomon because Toucanemon's in the games. Toucanemon is the show, so a little bit of an orange bird. It also has yellow like Zoe. For the champion, I wanted to invoke a little bit of Jet Sylphimon, but also the bird element. So I went with Peacockmon. I think, and you also see Zoe has a little bit of blue in her, so this would work. I thought this was a cyborg. This is another case of me thinking machines are cyborgs. But for the ultimate and mega, and somewhat kind of the mega as well, we're going to go back a little bit. So for the ultimate, I went with Luminamon Nene version. You could just say this is Luminamon because Luminamon is a fairy type, much like Tinkermon and Fairymon. So I think this could work really well. And also the big giant wings, and it's a female, a little girly, which of course can become Venusmon, which I do agree with Karn. And if you want to stick with the more bird theme, I went with Eaglemon. It's cyborg, similar to Jet Sylphimon. I didn't like his Valdermon pick. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is what I was thinking. Luminamon to Venusmon. I think I could see this working. For Tommy or JP, yeah, I completely agree with Karn. It's metal, insect, thunder based. I mean, Kokuamon to Ballistamon to Atler Ballistamon, and then Shivamon. Although I did have one other pick, and I was thinking Raijamon because of the gladiator pick look. As one of my followers when they were watching, when they pointed out ancient Beetlemon, they noticed the gladiator look. So I thought Raijamon would work perfectly with that. Next up, we have Kouchi, and I different with Karn. I think Karn went with a doggy version for his line, and I still wanted to connect back to the cats a little bit. So for me, I knew this evolution line had it. I chose Electmon Purple. It's virus, and I think the yellow is going to work magically with what we have in store. But Electmon Purple, I could see becoming Mad Leomon for the dark evolutionary line. Instead of a dragon, I decided to stick with the more bird because that's what Velgarmon reminds me of, a bird, not a dragon. So I went with the demon bird Karatemon. It has the swords, kind of like Duskmon. And for the Mega, you could do Zhangmon, but I decided to go with I went with the Vital Bracelet idea, and I did went just Deathmon, just completely just evil destruction. I don't know. I just have the creepy eyeballs. I think you see all these red eyeballs, and then it becomes a big yellow one. I don't know. I just like Deathmon a little bit better. for the choice. But for the good side, now this was a little bit trickier. I was thinking for the champion I would go with Barrowmon, but Loimon's not a shaman. He's a warrior. So in place of a warrior, we choose our own warrior. This is what Tuarmon means, is warrior. So it's a yellow. It goes well with Elecmon Violet. I know he's a bit of a ninja and he's also a mutant, but I think this will work well with him, and also it's thematically with the colors with the Wrestling Evolution line. For the champion, ultimate, we choose Loader Leomon. We go back to the Leomon line, but we go with a mechanical base like Jaeger Leomon. He's got more missile base, but I think he has a little bit of guns. But yeah, I like Loader Leomon being the ultimate. And this also helps with the Mega being Leopardmon, whether if you're doing the Rahimon line or if you go with the Ancient line. The Vulcan Cannon inside Leopardmon Leopard mode, and then for Rahimon with the staff. But the more important thing is the wings and also the cat-like appearance. That's the main part. I personally just prefer regular Leopardmon, but whatever your choice may be, I was thinking cat and wings, and also a little bit of the gun aspect as well. So there's my thought. That is my thoughts for what would be if the Frontier kids had normal Digimon lines, or had normal Digimon partners. I'm gonna, at the end of the video, I'm gonna have and in the description I have links to Karn's video. I'm not gonna post a video response with mine. If you want to find mine, you're gonna have to search it elsewhere. But yeah, so it's going to do it for the end of the video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys next time.